Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Before going toward our session, I want to start with a piece of information. That is, visual info is processed 60 times faster. We remember 80% of what we see and 20% of what we read, and just even 10% of what we hear. Infographics are 30 times more likely to be read. It's all about the visual structure and story. Today, we are here to know about how we can bring our content to life. This is the one question. In the end of this session, we will get the answer of this question. So before start our journey, I want to tell you today you will learn something which is related to your content life. So let's start our journey. Welcome everyone. This is a session series presented by the Deanship of E-Learning and IT, and I am a member of Deanship of E-Learning and IT, myself Rima Shaheen. Today's topic is animated infographic. Animated infographics, we are having a movement, whether they are GIFs or videos. They have become some of the most shared content on any kind of media. So what makes them so compelling to consume? Let's take a close look at some great examples that can inspire your next animated infographic design. I know most of you are familiar with these terminologies, the animation, the infographics, the graphics, but in the end of this session, you will be able to say that today you learned something new, inshallah. So now next, let's start our today's topic, that is animated infographic. What is the meaning of animated infographic? That is actually, let's start to know about the actual definition. An animated infographic is a way of visualizing information using a combination of images, illustration, charts, graphs, and text. These are the main assets of any of the infographic, and other elements that are animated to add movement. This is our second step. Firstly, we have some assets to create a one infographic. If we are just talking about the word infographic, what is actually mean? The information which is represent with the graphics. So what are the assets of infographics? That is some of the images, some of the illustrations, some of the charts, maps, graphs, some informative text. That would be the main or core asset for the infographic. Now, today we are talking about something animation, some movement in our text. So if we want to add some animation, that means we want to put some life in our content. In the last year session, we have one session that is a static infographic. We learned how we can design a static infographic with the sum piece of information. What is the purpose of infographic? That is we have one big content and we want to represent in a very small way and in a very simpler way, but we want to deliver a complete message. So what we do, so this is a most common use of infographics. If I read this quote, what is mean? That is, by enhancing your image with motion, it will naturally draw the attention of the human eye. This is a very clear quotation that you will be able to see what you see, you get more from that. So this is over the last 5 years, infographics have become heavily relied upon as a device to make complex information acceptable. But what was once a mostly static form of content has evolved dramatically to include animation and animated elements that help make idea more easily interpretable and engaging. Before we have some piece of information, we draw some slides and some that kind of that stuff, but after that we start to making the information more attractive. Why we do that? Actually, if I say in a very simple words, now this is a time to learn from the screen. Everything is online, the lectures are online, we are teaching online, and our students are learning from the screen. So your screen must be attractive, interactive, and effective. Why we are doing these struggles? We are doing these struggles to make our content more effective for the students, to grab them intentions and grab their interest toward the learning, because there is a lot difference between the offline study and the online study. So this all effort is for making your content more good for the students. And these training session series is also a aim to utilize different tools, make you guys familiar to the e-learning tools. So our aim or our main purpose of these all training sessions are to make you guys able to and polish your skills toward the e-learning and make you more familiar to the computer and the e-learning tools. So the beauty of infographic has always been there, shareability, whether there are GIFs or videos. Animated and infographics are visual piece of content that are easy to consume and easily linked to. So this is actual core beauty of infographic, that it is very easy to link to and very easy to express your content or express your message. If you see these all above images, these are example of static infographics. What you are seeing on it, there is some graphs, some information, some statistics are available here to present your content. But now what? This is a boring, you can say, a simple PowerPoint presentation or simple infographic, static infographic is now it will not work more effectively. I'm not saying that this is not usable or this is not a good idea, but now it's a time to get more effective things and more effective ways to present your content in a very productive way. So when infographic first gained serious interaction online, they started as static illustration. Firstly, we start as a static illustration to present our content with some of the static graphs, some of the static statistics, information, and then some of piece of textual information we put on it, and we want to present our content with some piece of information which is just a one banner, you can say. They would be often take the form of extreme long images you would need to scroll through, but they had a certain charm to them. Some of the shapes, colors, illustrations, and easy to follow structure are big reason why static infographic work. All that scrolling was exactly what made the experience enjoyable. It was all about journey. So before we doing all these things, we put the some of the static images to present our information to make them some effective or some interesting for the users. But now what is the next? Today online still images don't do as well as the animated ones. So if you have already invested static infographic for your content and you may want to consider adding animation to them and give them a new life, so yes, you are on a right place. Today you will learn how you can bring your content to life. So let's move toward the next thing. So I discussed some of the facts and figures and some of the definitions about the graphics, some infographics, and now we are going towards the animated infographics. Before the implementation, I want to express all the features, all the styles of animated graphics, infographics. So because we have to know about what is the actually meaning, what, how many styles we have, how I will be able to implement effectively. So now we are going to see that styles of animated infographic, how many styles we have. Please off your mic. Thank you. So now we are going to start the styles of animated infographic. The first one is maps animated infographic. If you see in this picture, we have some of the graphs which is representing the sum of the population or some think about the people. So this is called the animated maps, which is using in the infographic. This is a part of one infographic for data linked to the geographical location. If you have some scenario in which we use some location or some geographical location, so you use the map to visualize it is the most effective method. You will use the sum of the maps to visualize your data. This is all depend on your scenario, on your target work, what you want to represent. So you, if you want to represent something which is related to a population or location or something like that, then you will be use the maps animated infographic. That one is the first one style, you can say. Let's move toward the next one. The second one is process or how to. In our work, in even in a lecture, in even in a course content, we have many of the scenarios where we have some process, where we have some steps from, for example, I have 7 steps, 10 steps I want to represent in a one piece of information. I don't want to give them a one or 2 or 3 pages to represent them as something information, but I want a one quick way or a simple way to present. So this is a best way to present your information. It will be very eye catching for the viewer, and they will get very fastly what the actually the meaning. This is mostly used for the awareness. So you some awareness purpose if you want to represent something. So this is called a process, mean you want to show some of the process and something which is how to use, how to do some scenarios like this. So you will use this kind of infographic style. See, here is our some steps like 1 2 3 until 7. We have different steps, and every step have a sum of piece of information. That one is animated picture and some of the text, so which is representing the complete information. So step by step you can deliver your message very easily. This one is very interesting style, that is exploded view. What is the meaning of exploded view? Each component of a product is separated in the order of assembly to get to the core of how it works. It will be represent you every part or every component of a product and determine what is actually the mean of this component and what is the actually the work of this component. So if you see this picture, so this is every part which is separately, and it's showing you a one complete picture that how many components it have and what is the actually the name of these components, and it's a complete information. And it's very effective to present your idea that it's about this how speakers make sound. So this is a main title. We want to represent that how speakers make sound. So this is exploded view animated infographic, that you separated every part, every component of a product, and you want to represent in this way. Let's move toward the next style. Comparison animated infographic. This is a more closer to the for the teachers, because most of scenarios are related to the comparison. And if you want to, we have a different scenarios, like we have a two-sided scenarios, and we want to present some comparison, and we want to give the some survey or pool to the students, and we want to tell them features of one side and also the feature of the second side. So you can use this comparison animated infographic. This is just example, and you can see here is a very attractive way to represent one comparison statistics. The next one is interactive animated infographic. What is the meaning of interactive animated infographic? If you see in a picture, if you want to go any specific component of that infographic, so you can just easily click and you will be able to see the information. So what does it mean? The viewer can interact with the animated infographic by clicking on various components for a closer look or to influence the content in some way. So in this way you can create a one interactive infographic very easily. You can make the sections, and you can put all of your information, and user just click and grab the information to closer and very clearly. Next style is a data visualization animated infographic. What does it mean? We want to visualize our data, so in that information can be easily communicated with the Venn diagram, pie, or the bar charts, or the sum of the line graphs. You can use these kind of graphs, and you can represent your data visualization very easily. And if you are seeing, if I click on any of the Venn diagrams, it will be appear like this, so you can see the information very closely. So this is one of the very attractive way to represent your information. The next one is kinetic typography animated infographic. That is for infographic video especially. Animated moving text is a great way to convey more abstract information. If you want to show some of the abstract information, so this is the best way to represent that moving of a text or an object very good, and it is mostly used in a video animated infographic. So that one is our timeline animated infographic. The what does it mean? If you want to represent something that evolved over a certain time period, just like you are seeing in this example, that I have a different months and I want to represent it in a graph, so I use this attractive way to represent my message and my what I want to represent. So this way you can represent by, but this style is called the timeline animated infographic. Okay, now I will move toward the there is a one question that is how we can publish these animated infographics on a website, uploading them. Okay, you will get this answer. Just have some patience. I'm just going step by step. In the end, we will do a one implementation which will be very helpful for you all, because you all are related to the teaching department. So I consider that I just make a focus on which is related to your lectures and your courses. In the end, we will implement, inshallah, and that will be very useful for you all. So why I'm explaining all these things, because I want to spread all the knowledge about the animated infographic, and if you want to go beyond your lecture or course, you can use the other parts also, and you can practice it. Okay, no problem. Now let's move toward the next one, that is hierarchy animated infographic. Okay, if you see there is a one hierarchy. We start with the one main part, and then there is a branches. So how we can represent it is a very attractive way to represent your um, any of the graph, or if you want to make any hierarchy, if you want to show any scenario which is related to the hierarchy, so you can use this kind or this style of animated infographic. Various components making up a single subject are arranged in order to of important importance, usually using a hierarchical pyramid. So we use some hierarchical pyramid to represent our information if it's related to some kind of scenario which is related to the some hierarchy or tree or something like that. So, animated infographic can be made of multiple reasons, such as product or service explanation, education, requirements, corporate videos, or even just for a pure entertainment. I just repeat this sentence again because I just want to tell you we are here to not just focus with the one narrow line. We are here to give you a one big picture, and after that you are going toward any of the aspects and you just go and practice. It will be helpful for you not only with your course, with your lecture, with your university work. It will be helpful for your for future, inshallah, because this is a time to e-learn. If I say in the very simple way, this is the time of e-learning, and many of you are related to some of math department and the other departments which is not much related to the computer familiar. So our purpose is to make you guys to give a big picture, and then you can do some of the practice, and if you want to go beyond the box, so you can go very easily with this information. Our purpose is here just to give you a some all points, and then you will be go and practice, and then you will get more things, inshallah. So here is a one more quote, that is a number have an important story to tell, but it depends on you to give it a voice. So that it's not mean nobody have a content, nobody have a knowledge. Everybody have a knowledge and everybody have a content, but there is a one specific skill or one way to present your knowledge or present your content in an effective way. So I already quote that we why we are doing all these effort, because this is a time of screen learning. So we want to make our screen more attractive, more interesting for the viewers, for the students. So that's why we are doing all these things, and we are giving a voice of our content to make and present in a very good and pleasant way. So now this is a time to move towards some of okay okay let me explain it some slower pace. I think he is not going to understand this. Okay, no problem. Okay, now we are going move toward the animated infographic implementation, that how to make animated infographics. And okay, let me explain one thing. You will be also get the recording if you feel that it's something which is just pass out and you didn't understand. No problem at all, you will get the recording and you can just pause and you can repeat many times, and you will get the point according to your uh, reliability. So now let's move toward the next topic, that is how to make animated infographic. Before going toward the making an infographic, we must have some of the work on it. Okay, now I'm going to work to tell you that how we can make animated infographic. This is a time of implementation. Now I know about the definition, I know about the history, I know all the what is the meaning of this and what is the purpose, how many styles I have. Now it's time I want to present my content to the animated infographic. Now what I do, so this is the next step. Now we are going to determine the purpose and the audience. This is a first step of implementation. For example, you are going to represent some animated video infographic. So for this, you must do some preparation. It does not mean you just open any website, any tool, and you are going to start your work. No, before any work, you have some preparation. That is a prerequisites, you can say. So for these prerequisites, we will start with the determine the purpose and the audience. I want to make a one animated video infographic, but what I have to do, I must know something that what is the purpose of my video, what will be the audience, because every piece of information will be to the some of the targeted audience. I will make for some of the targeted audience. Like you are a teacher, you will make for the students, for your colleagues, for your department or a deanship, so or represent to the university. So there is some purpose. So I have three questions. That is, what is the purpose behind the video infographic? The second one is, who are going to benefit with my videos? The third one is, what do I want them to do after watching my videos? So these are the questions you must be. Firstly, you have to decide this. These are looking very simpler questions, but it defines the full purpose of making your video. Your video infographic is not just a slice of entertainment. It conveys a lot of meaningful data to the viewers. So this should be keep in your mind that this is not just a piece of entertainment. So you will be represent your message, or you will deliver your message to someone who which must be beneficial for them. So your video infographics graphic will be helpful for them with a complete message. So you must, it defines the main mind of the big data and simplifies the process of delivering your message according to the target you define. So it will be very helpful if you will be get the big data and then convert it into a simpler and a simpler way, and in a very small one infographic, and it will represent with a very effective way. Okay, let me explain this with a one example, and then I will be ask you what is the actually purpose and what is the meaning of this heading. You will get what is the actually meaning of this heading. I'm going to show you one sample video. This is just a sample video to show you, to understand why we get this determine the purpose and the audience. So let's move toward one small example, and let's see what is it actually. So you saw this video. So this is just an example. So this video infographic about the water, so targeted to a common man. So this is a basic purpose, and that give an awareness. So the main purpose is the giving the awareness, and the targeted audience is a common man. So this is the purpose of this infographic. So it will be benefit for the all common persons, and it is just awareness message. So the meaning of determine the purpose, and the audience is just like that. And this is an example. So next next step is that is collect data, research, and analyze. After you have collected the data, you must make sure that each piece of information that you have gathered is present in at least 2 trusted, validated websites. What does it mean? You are going to present something, you must have some data. What is the data? I mentioned some of the assets that were images, some illustrations, some graphs, some maps, or some of the text. So these are the actually data. You will be gathered all the data which is related to your topic. You will be search on Google, of course. You will be search on the Google, but there must be keep one thing in your mind, that you must be search any of piece of information. It must be in two website at least in two website. It must be appear, or it must be some trusty website you get the information. The right information is very important, because you are going to present your information with some of the references, and your references, if it's not valid, so this is not good. So before doing this, you must have some research on it. You must study different websites on different websites with different data you will collect, and you will be just make sure that this data is accurate. And you will, if you want to put any of statistics on the on infographics, so that statistics must be referred to as some one, for example, if I get some of the percentage, and it must be some appear in one of the research paper, and that research paper is published in some of the valid journals. So it is very important thing. So I will be, after gathering this data and after some research, I will analyze my data, that is okay, that is legal, that is presenting all my information or message which I want to deliver. So this is one part of if you want to going to make your animated infographic. So let's move toward the next part. Okay, now you are going to narrate it for videos. So if you have to decide before that you want to make an animated infographic, just like with background music, just you saw this example, or if you want to present with some of the voiceover, you can present that with the voiceover, and you can also present it with the just background music. But the more effective and recommended one with the background music, because video infographic are mostly accomplished by a background music rather than a voiceover, because it is more of a visual representation, because we are just talking about the visual representation. So it is more effective with just background music, and there's no voiceover, and your characters, your video is as much powerful to represent all the information without any voice. So this is the main purpose. So but you can also narrate it by
on Sunday.
Please off your mic. Okay, thank you. Let's move toward the next one. Okay, this is a very important part, that is a select the right tool. Now it's time to implement actually. So I have work, I just homework, I gather all the information and everything. Now I want to move toward the implementation. What I will do, I just choose the best tool and right tool. Here is a sum of the free tools you can use if you want it with us. Just quickly you want to get it. You have a Canva, Infogram, and Adobe Spark, Pick to Chart, Easily, and Visualize.me. These are the some good one tools. So you can use these these websites, and you just log in with the free sign up and just pick one template, add it, and you can just use that one for your purpose. And these are all the free websites you can go, and Adobe Spark, you can also use this one. This is very good one. So you can use these points. So I'm giving you a piece of information. You just go and explore these websites, and you will be easily do it. So now move toward the next thing, that is a focus on visuals. I just mentioned some of the assets that are map, graphs, diagram, and charts. What does it mean? Map is related to some of the representation which is related to location. And if I am talking about the graphs, that is a quantitative data, some comparison, a relation between the quantities. For statical information, if you want to represent some statical information, you will be find the graphs. And if you want to draw some sequence, some process, or if you want to show some timeline, that is related to the diagram, to demonstrate a process or event or as a timeline, so you can use the diagram. So this is one of the asset of animated infographic. The fourth one is chart. That could be a flow chart or some organizational chart, so to show some statistical information. If you want to make a one flow chart for your course or something, or you can use the charts for this purpose. So these are the main assets, and this is the meaning of these main assets, that what is actually meaning and how we can use it. So now it's time to implementation. I